Hi friends, in this video I am going to do a trend analysis of the IR section in the UPSC prelims paper of the last 10 years. Guys, first of all let me tell you that traditionally IR section was the neglected section in the UPSC prelims paper and very few questions used to come from the IR section. If you see this table, in the year 2012 and 13 there were not even one question from the IR section. However, with the increasing trend of questions from the current affairs sections, the number of questions from the IR section has been increasing. You can see here last year there were 13 questions from the IR section, and here I have not included those questions which are mix of IR and environment, which are international conventions related to environment. I have left out those questions. If you include those questions, more than 15 questions were from the IR section. So it is very evident that if you really want to crack the UPSC prelims and want to clear the cutoff comfortably, then you need to prepare IR very well. And another dimension of this IR questions are they are mostly current based. And if you are not very thorough with the current affairs, then you will struggle to score in the IR section. Therefore, it is very important that you understand the type of questions coming from the IR section so that you can prepare well in this section and you can solve the questions coming from this section easily. Guys, the differentiating factor between a successful prelims candidate and an unsuccessful prelims candidate is the current affairs sections, and in that current affairs sections IR plays a very important role. Therefore, it is very important for you to understand how should you prepare this section, and this trend analysis is going to basically help you with a strategy to go about preparing this section. So what I have done is that I have analyzed the last 10 years question from this section, and I have come to the conclusion that the number of questions coming from IR section can be categorized into 4 categories. These 4 categories are organization based questions, grouping based questions, map based questions, and some miscellaneous questions. The trend of miscellaneous questions started with the year 2020, and this trend has been increasing. So it is very important that a new aspirant must be aware of this miscellaneous section so that he is not surprised inside the exam hall. Guys, I can tell you, after watching this video, this section, okay, you will not have any doubt how to prepare this section. This is one of the most comprehensive video on this section. So guys, let us start. So what I will do is that I'll start with the organization based questions. Okay, so the first section is the organization based question. Okay, so most of the questions which come from this section are on institutions or organizations which are in news. And what are the various types of questions? So under this section also, under this organization types of question also, there are 4 types of questions. One is that focuses on the mandate of organization. Mandate basically means what? What does the organization do? Okay, what does the organization do? So where you have to prepare? So you have to go to the website of the organization which is in news and just go to the section what do we do? Who we are and what do we do? Who we are and what do we do? The second type of question which come is the initiatives based question. Initiatives means every organization, they take some initiatives to solve or to meet the objective for which it has been established. For example, last year there was a question on rapid financing instrument and a rapid credit facility as related to which organization. So the answer was IMF. Okay. The third type of question coming from this section is the treaty based or convention based questions. You can see here in the year 2018 they asked ILO's organizations conventions 138 and 182 are related to. So the answer was, I guess, the child labor. And the last but not the least, okay, is the section of reports and indices. This is the favorite section of UPSC. Every year at least one question you get from this section. So every organization of international importance, be it WTO, be it World Bank, be it IMF, be it United Nations. So every organization, they come out with some reports and indices. those reports and indices are very important. Here, let me also tell you, when you prepare organizations, international organizations, you also need to prepare international non-voluntary organizations also, international civil society also, because in the past UPSC has asked questions on those non-governmental organizations also which are of international nature. For example, you can see here Amnesty International. They have asked a question on Amnesty International. Amnesty International is a civil society, international civil society, international NGO. See, they have again asked Doctors Without Border. It is also a kind of a civil society and NGO, a non-voluntary organization. Okay, so a voluntary organization. So the point is that, okay, in the international organizations, you need to prepare what? You need to prepare, first of all, organizations, okay, both international organization and non-governmental organizations, international non-governmental organization. Then you need to prepare what? You need to prepare their mandate. You need to prepare their mandate. You need to prepare their initiatives. You need to prepare their conventions and treaties. Okay, and then you need to prepare their reports and indices. Okay, I'm giving you one example. Suppose, okay, they want to ask on WTO. So what they can ask? They can ask you on TRIPS. TRIPS is a treaty of WTO which is related to the intellectual property rights. Okay, so like this they are going to ask you, and if you see the previous year questions, you will see that few organizations are very favorite of UPSC. For example, World Bank, okay, for example, IMF, okay, for example, United Nations, for example, IAEA. Okay, so these are very organizations which are coming, okay, like repeated nature. Okay, repeated nature. You can see here IAEA has come 2 times. You can see here, one, it has come in 2020 and then it has come in 2018. You see the same organization has been asked 2 times. Okay, you see here reports also, the generally they have focused reports on what? Reports from World Economic Forum, reports of World Bank, reports of, okay, IMF. Okay, generally. Okay, as far as conventions are concerned, here also questions generally are related to IMF or the WTO or the World Bank or the United Nations. Okay, so guys, okay, this section is the most important section in the IR section. So what you need to do is that you need to prepare every organization which is in news. Every, you cannot decide that, okay, let me leave this organization, this is not important. Don't do that. Whatever organizations are in news, if they are appearing 2-3 times in the newspaper, this means that organization is important. Go to the website of that organization and just check out what do we do, what are our initiatives. Okay, just prepare that. Just prepare that. If you follow the Optima notes, I have prepared a thorough list of all these organizations in news in the last 2 years. So you can refer the Optima notes also. Okay. So for whenever you prepare an organization, prepare the mandate, prepare the initiative, prepare the treaty, and prepare the reports and indices of that organization. Okay. So that is the scientific way of preparing it. So you will not leave out any questions. You will not leave out any question because you have not left out any dimension of that organization. Generally, what students mistake they do is that they only prepare the mandate. They leave out the initiatives. Just last year, okay, it was only in my notes, okay, that I had covered this rapid financing instrument, rapid credit facility, everything, whatever are the, okay, funding facilities of IMF, we have covered, okay, in depth we have covered. Why? Because, okay, I knew that they are not going to ask a simple question of what is the role of IMF, because it has already asked that question. It has already asked that question, what is the role of IMF? So I knew that they are not going to ask a simple question on what is the role of IMF. What they are going to ask is that they will go a little bit deeper, and they are going to ask you what is the various initiatives, lending facilities, because the extended fund facility was in news in context of the Sri Lankan crisis. So they asked the rapid financing instrument and rapid credit facility. Okay, so guys, please prepare, okay, all the dimensions as I have shown in this, okay, video. Next, coming to the second type of questions are the grouping based questions. Okay, in grouping based questions also you see there are 4 types of questions which have come on the grouping based questions. First type, which is the most favorite type, is the membership based. They will just simply say that, okay, G20, who are the members, or NSG, who are the members, or like Shanghai Cooperation Organization, who are the members, or they can ask you, is India member of these organizations? Here also you see some of the groupings are favorite of UPSC, like G20, NSG, SCO, Nuclear Suppliers Group, SCO. Like these are the like favorite topics of UPSC. Many times UPSC has asked, okay, such type of groupings. Here you need to prepare what are the current groupings. Current groupings means new groupings, current new groupings. Okay, for example, this year, like in the last 2 years, Quad, Indo-Pacific, many groupings are coming in Indo-Pacific. Like this year, mineral, that critical mineral partnership. Okay, again new grouping has come. So whatever grouping has come, first of all, you need to prepare their membership. Okay, you need to prepare their membership. Second, what you need to prepare is various summits. See, every grouping will have some summits. Like for example, G20 summit is happening in India. Okay, and India is a president. So like that, okay, the important organization and their summits. Okay, for example, this year G20 is very important. So when was the first summit? When was the last summit? Who was the like president of the last summit? All these type of questions also UPSC has asked. Okay, these are very factual questions, but you see, in 2016 UPSC has asked Indo-Africa summit held in 2015. UPSC asked such type of silly questions also. Okay, where the first time it was when was the first summit? Okay, such kind of questions UPSC has asked. Then UPSC can also ask what? Declaration based question. Every grouping will have some kind of declaration, some famous declaration. Okay, Fortaleza declaration, New Delhi declaration, this declaration, that declaration. Okay, so any famous declaration in the last 1 or 2 years, they can ask you that also. They can ask you that also, which organization has come out with that declaration. Okay, and last but not the least is the initiatives of that grouping. For example, last year they have asked G20 common framework. What is this G20 common framework? It was regarding the debt. It was regarding the debt of the developing countries. So this year they can ask you, okay, what? This year they can ask you the European Union is very important. The carbon border mechanism, carbon border mechanism, carbon border adjustment mechanism. They can ask you this. This is very important. Okay, so in international groupings, first of all, you need to prepare which are the important international groupings which are in news. Then you need to prepare their membership. Then you need to prepare their summits. And then you need to prepare the declaration and initiatives. Initiatives is very, very important. This is a new trend of question which is coming in UPSC, the initiatives of those organizations. For example, European Union is very important, carbon border adjustment mechanism, and there is a digital market act that is also very important this year. Okay, then coming to the next type of question which have come on this section is the regions and places. This is one of the most toughest, I would say this is the toughest section. Okay, and most of the candidates, they miss out. Okay, these type of questions they miss out, because if you are not following the current affairs page of the newspaper, it is very difficult, because they are not asking very simple questions from this section. Okay, here also you see there are 4 types of questions. Okay, 4 types of questions they are asking in the map based questions also. Okay, region based questions also. You see conflict or coup related. Okay, like conflict regions. Okay, where there is a refugee problem, or where there is a coup, the countries where there is a coup. Okay, those type of questions they have asked. Okay, 2-state solution. Okay, Israel and the Middle East, the African nation, because a lot of conflicts are happening there. Now the new conflict arena is the Europe. Okay, the Ukraine. So they can ask you related to Ukraine. Till now they have not asked anything on Ukraine. They have asked only on Africa. They have asked only on the Middle East, but they have not asked anything on Ukraine. So they can ask you. They can ask you anything related to Indo-Pacific. Okay. Next, questions on disease outbreak or any kind of regions which are in news because of something new. Okay, for example, in last 2-3 years, because of the various zoonotic disease outbreak. Okay, UPSC has asked many questions on that. Okay. Next, the type of questions coming from this section is the bordering questions, bordering country questions. They'll give you a famous sea, okay, like Black Sea, Caspian Sea, Mediterranean Sea, and they will say the bordering countries. Please tell the bordering countries or match the following. Here also, okay, you see here generally water bodies. Okay, world important water bodies like Mediterranean Sea and Black Sea, Caspian Sea. Okay, is very okay. Generally, questions are related to that. So here, please prepare the Mediterranean Sea mapping, very important, and the Caspian Sea mapping and the Black Sea mapping, very important. You can have more questions coming from that because UPSC is repeating itself. Okay, in the IR section, one thing is that okay, it is repeating itself. Okay, what they will do, they will pick one option from there and they'll pick and they will frame another question on that. For example, Black Sea, you all know that because of the Ukraine crisis, Black Sea is very important. So you have to do the entire mapping of Black Sea. Holistically, you have to map that Black Sea. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, similarly, Red Sea, similarly, Mediterranean Sea is very important. And the last type of questions coming from this section is the regions, okay, countries, islands in conflict. Okay, say for example, Southeast Asia. UPSC has asked 2 times question on Southeast Asia, question on Vietnam, some important countries, important islands. Okay, so UPSC has asked questions on that also. That is the fourth category. Okay, fourth category. You can keep this category here also, but I separated this category. Okay, because sometimes questions are based on only countries. Okay, and they last year they have asked question on Vietnam, so they can ask one question on any other country also, which is in news and which is very important. Okay, for students. Okay, I'm giving a bonus question this year. Sahel region is very important. You can prepare Sahel region. Sahel region is very important. Horn of Africa is very important. You can prepare that. Okay, these two regions are very important. Okay, you can prepare that. Okay, mostly again I'm telling you this is completely current affair based. Here also let me tell you I am covering the section, okay, in my Optima notes very in depth, very in depth. Okay, so you can refer my Optima notes. Here I have covered all the regions where such kind of okay conflict, such kind of coups, etc is happening. Okay, and the last okay, and the last section, which is the new section, miscellaneous section of questions which are coming, is basically okay the international day. Okay, they have asked one question on international day, so they can ask, like they have asked question on international day of mother's language day, so they can ask on some other international day. So it's very important. Generally we think that such type of questions will not come in UPSC. This is a banking sector, a banking exam question, but UPSC is asking such type of questions. Or you can see Summer Olympics in 2020, they have asked on Summer Olympics, or they have asked on prizes in the sports. So this year, okay, what can be a question? Okay, they can ask you on okay movie awards. Okay, Natu Natu has got a lot of awards. They can ask you that. They can ask you that. Many students will be surprised, but UPSC can ask you. So sports related questions, prizes related questions, and international day related questions are also very important. Here I would like to tell you that don't start preparing everything like every international day. Don't start preparing every international day, but at least the most important ones you should go through it. Just like Google search, you will get in some international days, main international days you should prepare. Some major sporting events if it has happened. For example, this year World Cup football has happened, so you should know. And then some important prizes you should be aware of. So overall, you see here, these are the 4 types of questions which have come okay in UPSC. As far as regions, which like the map based questions, okay, you can see the map based question. You can see what kind of regions they have asked. They have asked Africa. You see a lot of times Africa, they have asked questions on Africa, particularly the regions which are disturbed because of some conflict, okay, which have refugee camps. Okay, for example, these type of regions are very, very important. You can see here, okay, they have asked questions on Middle East, okay, Africa, Middle East, lot of questions on that. Okay, you can see a lot of questions coming from this. You can see here again, you see a question on Mediterranean region, okay, Mediterranean Sea, okay, and so you see Golan Heights, again Middle East. Okay, so a lot of questions coming from this region, the region of Mediterranean Sea, the region of Middle East. Okay, that region is very important because that region has been in news because of various reasons, okay, in the last okay 1 decade. But however, if you see now the world of geopolitics is shifting towards Indo-Pacific, okay, Indo-Pacific. So you will see questions coming more from the Indo-Pacific region. For example, South China Sea. Okay, like last year they have asked question on I think Senkaku Island. So more questions can be expected from South China Sea region. Okay, a lot of questions can come. Okay, So guys, this is overview. If you want this document, okay, you can download from my channel. I will give this document in my channel, so that okay, all the questions on IR sections I have, okay, I have included in this. And now I think you must have a fair idea of how you need to prepare, okay, the IR sections. So let me just sum up. In the IR sections, you have 4 category of questions, 4 types of questions, and in each category you have another 4 categories of question. For the organization based question, you need to prepare the mandate, you need to prepare the mandate, you need to prepare the initiative, you need to prepare the conventions and treaties, and you need to prepare reports and indices. Okay, second grouping based question, you need to prepare membership, you need to prepare summits, you need to prepare declaration, okay, and you need to prepare what, some miscellaneous aspect. Okay, then as far as map based question, you need to prepare regions in conflict, coup, okay, coup. Then you need to prepare, okay, climate change affected regions, okay, you need to prepare that. Okay, and in miscellaneous you need to prepare awards, international day, okay, and sports, major sporting events that year, so overall you need to prepare this. As far as, okay, topics which have come, you can see here, okay, Arctic Council, okay, an organization, Arctic Council, UN Habitat, WTO, IAEA, NSG, ILO, IAEA, okay, IMF, IAEA. You see how many times, okay, they are IMF, WHO, okay, UNGA, okay, United Nations Security Council. Okay, this year, yeah, this year Security Council is very important. You need to prepare it thoroughly. Okay, Security Council reforms and all that. It's very, very, very important. Okay, and I will tell you one surprising question. You see in 2011 they have asked question on arms control. Okay, the Australian group, the Wassenaar arrangement, etc., etc. And again you see 2022 they have asked the same questions. Okay, arms control, same question they have asked, same question. Okay, so see, it is very scientific. It is very scientific. If you prepare, if you have a complete hold of the PYQs properly, if you have a hold of the PYQs, then I can tell you, you will be able, and if you follow current affairs. Okay, here I would like to announce one thing. I am going to conduct free classes on the IR region, in the IR section in our Optima batch. Okay, IR section. Okay, in our test series plan. Free classes, completely free classes in the Optima batch for the IR section. At least 5 to 6 classes I will conduct, and I will cover, one class will be on organization like this. Okay, one class will be on organization, one class will be on grouping, one class will be on mapping, and one class will be on miscellaneous, okay, topics. So I will conduct minimum 4 classes I will conduct, and I promise you I will try to cover each and every probable questions which can come from this section. And guys, this section is very important, because if you score in this section, you have a lead over others. So guys, if you like this analysis, okay, please hit the like button and please share with your friends. The target is okay for this video, guys, because it took a lot of time to make this video. The target is 500 likes. Okay, please, everyone who watches this video should like this video, so that it reaches to more number of students. Because guys, the many students are not aware, because these are the new areas, and many students are not aware. And you see in many traditional notes also you don't find these kind of questions. Okay, because these are new dimension of questions which are coming. So if you don't look at the PYQs, okay, in an analytical fashion, then you can leave out this. You can think that okay, some questions have come, it is an exception. No, if there is a trend, and if you catch that trend and if you prepare on that front, you will be easily scoring better marks than others. So thank you friends, bye bye, take care.